Hello everyone, welcome back. Hello everyone, welcome back. Am I audible to you? Yes, am I audible to all of you? Yes, hello everyone. Sorry. Yes everyone, very good evening to all of you. Yes, yes, am I audible? Achintya is there, very good evening. Yes, Devidas Mohanty is there. Yes, very good evening to all of you. Yes, Akshay, once again, good evening. Yes, those who are new here, let me introduce myself. My name is Harshvardhan Singh. And on this platform, I'm going to teach you all the aspects of history. At present, I'm teaching world history along with the international relation. In the future, I'm going to teach you history optional as well as economics. I'm having 8 years in the field of civil services as an educator, and earlier I was selected as an intelligence bureau officer. Those who haven't subscribed to Unacademy, please subscribe to Unacademy and please download the app as well. And what recently we are going to change our policy from 1st December. We are going to change the policy. So I hope you all get the message of it. So please subscribe to Unacademy. It will give you more benefit, and we have an option of 1 month, 3 month, 6 month and 12 month. I insist to have a subscription of 12 month. In that we have a subscription of plus and iconic. I insist you to have an iconic subscription because here we are going to provide each and every help from our side including personal feedback. So whenever you are going to take the subscription, please use my code. This is my code HarshV10. This is my code, and if you use that code you will get the 10% discount and you're going to count as my student. Along with that, as I mentioned, recently we changed our policy. So this is the one of the aspect while attending the classes, especially on the app, you have to use the code of that person before logging. Earlier it was not the case, now it is the case with that. So please do that. Please subscribe to Unacademy. So this is the Cold War Part 2, 1962 to 1991. So that means we already discussed the part first of it. So those who haven't attended the class, I request you to go and watch the lecture which is available on the Unacademy's app. In that we discussed the first part in very detail, but as my policy is there, I always revise the thing of the last lecture so that you can connect with the new part of it. So quick recap of last lecture. In the last lecture we discussed that what is Cold War. Cold War was an ideological conflict. Yes, ideological conflict between capitalism and communism. Yes, capitalism, the leadership provided by USA, communism, leadership provided by USSR, and all we discussed. Then we found the several expression of the Cold War. As I mentioned, it is an ideological conflict, but it didn't stick to the ideology only. It is having socio-politico-economic aspect of it. And we found out several expression of the Cold War. How? Very best example we mentioned that formation of NATO. This is the expression of Cold War. NATO was challenged by Warsaw Pact. Yes. Then we found the expression of it in form of Korean War. Yes. Okay. Then we find out the expression in the form of Vietnam War. Then we found the expression in Arab-Israel conflict. Yes. Then we found out the expression in the form of Cuban Missile Crisis. Yes. So these are the expressions of it where the USA and USSR doesn't have any stake. Yes. USA and USSR doesn't have any stake, but still they involved in that. Yes, whatever I mentioned, that is Korean War, Vietnam War, or Cuban Missile Crisis. USA and USSR doesn't have real stake in that. But why they involved into that? Because it was a period of Cold War, and whenever and wherever, if the ideological fight is there, then these two players are there. Means, for example, if any country is anti-communist, then USA is definitely going to help. And if any country supports the ideology of communism, that means anti-capitalism, USSR is there. So it is a tit for tat was there. In the meanwhile, we mentioned in the Cold War, there are some good things happen as well. Means, as we mentioned, technological development is there. Best example, NASA. Along with that, we mentioned one more point, the MAD doctrine was on work. This MAD doctrine saved the world. Yes, some of you might get confused. MAD save the world. Yes, always remember, MADs are going to save you. That is mutually assured destruction. This is the doctrine, and mutually assured destruction when it emerged, when earlier USA was having nuclear weapon, later on USSR developed, and as both are nuclear capable countries, so nobody is going to attack each other. So that is our policy of MAD. Then one most important aspect of it, hydrogen bomb test in 1952. USA conducted the hydrogen bomb test. In 1953, USSR conducted the hydrogen bomb test. So it ended the possibility of Third World War. Yes, everyone. So is that clear to you? That's whatever we discuss. Achintya, what about the Gulf War? Gulf War, we have some time. Why you're so in hurry? I am discussing 1945 to 1962. Gulf War is there after 19. Yes, 89, 90, 91. Yes, Ashwini, we already discussed the Suez Canal crisis in Arab-Israel conflict. So all this thing we discussed in the last lecture in detail, including Vietnam War, Korean War, the background of it, how it happened and all. So I insist you to watch that video. Now we are going to discuss the part 2. It is not just a part 2 of our lecture, it is the second phase of Cold War as well. And this phase is known as New Cold War. This phase is known as New Cold War. So as a common man, I am having question. Maybe you may have. What is the new in this? Yes, what is the new in this? As we added the word new, there should be something new. How it is different from old one? I'm having such question. Maybe you have the same. And whether we have found any expressions of it in international relations. Questions are very basic. So my first question to you, what is the new in this Cold War? How it is different from the old? So first we have to define. I'm there to define, don't worry. Don't worry, some of you get confused that why this person every time asks question to us. Why not he is answering the thing? Because I want to develop your ability to think. Yes, that's why I'm asking the question. It is not the case I don't know. Some of you may think that this person is asking the question and after listening the answer this person is going to repeat the same thing. It is not the case. So please, it is not for my side, it is for you. So that's why I'm asking the question. Yes, so I already asked you the question. Yes, what is new Cold War then? What do you think? Yes, everyone. Akshay said don't know. Yes, Bhanupriya is there, Achinte is there, then Devashish is also there. Yes, everyone. So you all are here. Just guess any wild guess. It doesn't require the perfect answer. Just think about it. So please understand this fact. Whenever the word new is there, so first thing should comes into your mind. Do we know the old? And yes, we know the old. Ashwini doesn't know that. Oh, oh. First thing, how it is so? First, whether we know the old Cold War. Yes, we know that. What was that? Capitalist versus communist. Ideological conflict. Yes. So what's this new Cold War? If you know the old, it is easy for you to answer the new. Yes, anybody is having any wild guess? Yes, boys and girls, my future bureaucrats, please. Nation wants to know. Please remember, I am not the nation. People are expecting that. Ashwini said ideological conflict in the in the old Cold War. Yes, anyone? Sankalpa? Okay. Shall I explain? Yes. First, I am going to explain with help of old. I know I am repeating this thing, but still, if you want to know in better manner, so first I have to discuss this thing. As first, what we have mentioned, ideological conflict. Second, it is a conflict between Sankalpa. What said New Cold War is from establishment of supremacy over the world. New Cold War is on the power of competition for becoming economic superpower. Okay, yes, you are on the right track. First, let me complete this. Old Cold War, first ideological conflict. Second, it was a conflict of democracy versus dictators. Yes, because Stalin became the dictator. It was a democracy versus dictatorship. Along with that, it was a conflict between liberals versus communist. Yes. Next, it was a conflict against economic models. One model is basically the capitalist, another model is a communist model. The capitalist model means free market and communist model is state enterprises. Yes, Manisha, exactly. Capitalism and communalism, ideological conflict, exactly. Yes, Achintya, whatever you said about new, it is also exact thing. Yes, Sankalpa, Ashwini, exactly. But let me again redefine the old Cold War for you. These are the aspects. In the last lecture, we mentioned it is an ideological conflict and it is a socio-politico-economic angle. But I didn't explain that. I was hoping that you know this thing. So I didn't explain that time. But when I asked this question about the new Cold War and you are having confusion, then it's clear thing for me that you don't know exactly. So I explained this for you. That is ideological conflict, democracy versus dictatorship conflict, liberal versus communist economic model, that is free market or state controlled market. So this is a socio-politico-economic angles involved in that. And social angle, of course, it is based on equality. Yes, it is based on equality and equality in all the sense. So it was a conflict at that time. And when if you are having ideological conflict, you are stick to that. Means whenever, wherever the problem is with any country, and if that country is communist country, USSR are going to support. And the same thing is for USA. So it was an old Cold War. What is the new Cold War then? Let me explain. The new Cold War was basically ideology lost relevance. Ideology lost relevance. Clear? What is new? This is new. Ideology doesn't matter. Second thing, this is a conflict for establishment of supremacy. This is a conflict for establishment of supremacy. And who were the contender in that? Yes, of course, USA and USSR. Clear? So as I mentioned here, ideology lost relevance. That means now they are going to help any country who is against, means USA is going to help any country who is against USSR, irrespective of ideology. The same way USSR is going to help any country irrespective of ideology. Click. So this is the new Cold War. Now it is a fight for establishment of supremacy, establishment of dominance over world politics. And here USA and USSR is a contender. Earlier ideology was contender and they were the leaders in that. Now ideology lost relevance and now these leaders are become main contender. Clear? Is that clear to you? What is new Cold War? Yes, everyone. Is that clear to you? Yes. Is that clear to you? Or do you have any question? Yes, no doubt at all. Very good. So the third question we mentioned, any expression of it? Yes, this is the expression of it. I purposely put this cartoon here. This is the best expression of it. That is ping pong diplomacy. What is the expression of it? Ping pong diplomacy. What is ping pong? Yes, what is ping pong? Achintya said, from this period, can we say that world is turning towards multipolar? No, 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 no. No, Achintya. Multipolar world began after 2001 because from 91 to 2001 it was a unipolar world only. And now what we have discussed during this time, it is a bipolar world, and one pole represented by USA, other pole represented by USSR. Yes, of course. What is ping pong? It is visible there. The cartoon itself suggests ping pong. This is a table tennis. Ping pong is basically table tennis, and this is the most popular. Still bipolar world. No, no, no. How can you say that it is a bipolar? Do you really think so? There are two poles. One is USA. Okay. Then other one is China. China is nowhere in front of USA right now. China is trying to do so. But the meaning of bipolar means USA was leader and all Western powers followed USA. Do you really think so that China is a leader and all the neighboring states are following China? Do you really think so? Whether India is following China, whether Myanmar is following China, whether Bangladesh is following China. So for bipolar, it should be clear-cut division. And when we talk about unipolar world, at that time, USA was only powerful country at that time. No other country in the world can compete with USA. So that's why we use the word unipolar world for USA. But right now it is not the case. Now multipolar world is there. Okay. So what is ping pong? The diagram shows table tennis, and you know table tennis is very famous sport in China. If you know the Olympic and all, most of the medals are there with China or Japan. Yes, how it is so and why I don't want to comment. But you know that the ball is very small and their eyes are very sharp. So that's why they are playing this game in better manner. Table tennis. Yes, table tennis is known as ping pong. So this cartoon is very best example means to suggest you of ping pong diplomacy. Yes, how? This is China, and this cartoon is basically this is Mao. This is the USA. China and USA were enemy. Why? Because of ideological differences. China followed the policy of communism, USA followed the policy of capitalism. But if you closely observe, then you can see the friendship. They are shaking hand with each other. They are shaking with hand each other, and this is the ping, smash. Here is the word Taiwan. Taiwan, Republic of China. We already discussed. USA, smash on the face of Taiwan, and China, smash USSR. Yes, this is a symbolize of USSR, and China smash on the face of USSR. That means earlier till 1962, or we can say this change in the policy, new Cold War began in 1970s onward. So China left the friendship of USSR, same as US also left supporting Taiwan, because somebody asked me a question related to the UNSC. Why China got the membership, why not this country and that country? As in that Chinese Revolution I mentioned, the Chiang Kai-shek fled to Taiwan. Taiwan is known as Republic of China. So they got the membership, they got that claim, and USA didn't recognize them. So that's why Taiwan continued to be ruled there, continue to support means, and Taiwan means they considered themselves as a China, and they played an active role in UNSC. But as the change in relationship between USA and China, the basically People's Republic of China, USA left the support of, withdrew the support of Taiwan, and membership is given to China. So this is the ping pong diplomacy. It is the best expression of new Cold War policy. Why? Because this ping pong diplomacy suggests that there is no place for ideological conflict. The only thing is important, that is the national interest of the country. Yes, is that clear? So ping pong diplomacy is expression. Is that clear to all of you? Clear. Everyone clear. No doubt at all. Very good. I like the people like you who do not have any problem. Yes. Do you have still I'm asking this question. Anybody is having any question, any query? Yes. Anybody is having any question, any query? Any doubt? No? Is that clear to you? Okay. Now the next thing, as we mentioned, this is the period of new Cold War. This is the period of new Cold War. How it started? As I mentioned, which one is better, war or Cold War? I mentioned war. Why? Why? Because war is having decisive result. Either you are going to emerge as a victor or loser. This Cold War is a continuous process. Sorry, continuous process. In other words, I just want to clarify so that you will get the exact idea. Means the old means war is like appearing for 10th exam. Means appearing for 10th exam, either you will get to know that you're going to clarify or you're going to leave that. Clear cut idea. Decisive result means whether you're going to continue your education or not. It is clear with that examination. And Cold War is like preparing for the competitive exams. No decisive result, continuous process, continuous investment is there. Now I think it's clear for you because you all are there. Yes, is that clear? Next, as USA and USSR continuously investing money, as USA and USSR continuously investing money, and they are supporting those countries which were not capable enough to perform well, still they supporting them. Yes, still they supporting them. Why? Ideology was there and all. But after 30 years they realizes, after around 30 years they realizes they are investing a lot, but return is zero. Along with that, it was very difficult for USSR to continue the Cold War. Why? Why? Because if you know the name of the states in the USSR, you will get to know that they are too much weak. Only Russia is a powerful country in that. Let's take example of Romania, Hungary, Poland. Yes, only these examples are there. Do you really think so? In present context also, these states played an important role in international affairs. Yes, do you really think so that Poland, Albania, Romania played important role? No, of course not. So these states were weaker as compared to Russia. So Russia was the sole load bearer of them. So because of that reason, economy of USSR suffered a lot. Clear? The second thing that USA also investing in the countries. Most of the states where USA doesn't have any stake. For example, US intervention in Korea, US entering into Vietnam War. What's the output of that? Nothing. Only humiliation they face in that war. Vietnam War was the most humiliating war for USA. So their investment was continue. Their investment was continue, and now they realizes they are about they are about to lose their patience. They don't have that much money, so there is need for some relaxation. There is need to stop this madness somehow, and for that reason in 1970s emergence of a policy, and that policy is known as policy of detente or policy of thaw. Policy of detente or policy of thaw. Thaw and detente is the same. Thaw is a Russian word. Clear? Policy of detente and thaw. Again, one more question. What do you think? What is detente? Yes. What it means, detente? And I told you earlier as well that mugging up things is very simple, but it is difficult to reproduce. But understanding is quite difficult initially. But once you understood that concept, it will remain forever with you. So do not mug up the things. Yes. What do you think? What it means detente? What is the meaning of word detente? Sankalpa said relaxation of the tension. Ashwini said improvement in the relations. Okay. What about others? And yes, this is the pictorial depiction of detente. One person is from USA, other person is from USSR. Yes, yes, everyone. As Achintya, Manisha, Akshay, and others. I don't know the who all are joining. Yes, Bhanupriya is also there. Yes, those who joined. What do you think? Spirit of improved relations. Manisha said, okay. Yes, go on, guys and girls. What do you think? What is detente? Because the next thing is totally dependent on this word. If you know the meaning of this word clearly, it's very easy. Means I can say it's simple thing for you. Okay, so you mentioned relaxation of tension, improvement in the relationship, and yes, yes, all. What is detente? It means permanent relaxation in tension. It is a literally meaning of the word permanent relaxation in the tension. This is the real meaning of that. Clear? Means both the countries want permanent relaxation in tension, because Cold War is a situation that all the countries are tense. All the countries are living in the fear of end of the world. And Cuban Missile Crisis, we already discussed that. Cuban Missile Crisis is the best example of that. How tension was there. Deployment of missiles in Western Europe, deployment of missiles in Cuba against USA. So such tension was always there. And now what they want a relaxation and permanent. Means there should not be any tension in future. So they want that. So this policy developed in 1970s. So there are few expressions of it. There are few expressions of this policy. First has meaning is relaxation of the tension of Cold War. The purpose of policy of data relaxation of the tension of the Cold War. That is the purpose. The expressions of it is first is Austropolitic. First is Austropolitic. Second is SALT first. And third is Helsinki Agreement. Does anybody knows about what is Austropolitic? Does anybody is having any idea of Austropolitic? Yes, everyone. Do you have any idea of Austropolitic? Yes, everyone. Do you have any idea? Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. If you have, please let me know. Yes, if you don't have, please let me know. No. Then so that I can explain. No. I'm here for that. Any guess? What is Austropolitic? Of course, this word is not the English word because such thing is not there in English. Ashwin said it's a foreign policy. Akshay said don't know. Okay. Anyone? Any guess? No? Okay. I'm here to explain what is Austropolitic. Austropolitic is a policy followed by Western Germany towards Eastern Germany. And this policy is having aspect of friendship. What is Austropolitic? Austropolitic is a policy followed by Western Germany towards Eastern Germany, and this is having aspect of friendship. And do you know that there is a word Iron Curtain? Yes, we mentioned what is Iron Curtain. That is division of Europe. That is Western Europe and Eastern Europe over the line of ideology. Don't you think it is attack on it? Don't you think it is attack over the policy of Iron Curtain? And why they adopted this policy? Of course, they are Germans. They are Germans. And we know, we learn how Germans are proud of their nationhood. There was a dream to form a nation state. They fulfilled that dream. Bismarck played an important role. After Bismarck also, they had faced lots of problem after First World War. Still, they sorted out that problem and they became a nation state. What happened after Second World War? Division of Germany. Okay, that time maybe the madness was prevalent. Maybe the ideological conflict were there. But don't you think so? They were German. Economic policy may be the different, but their relationship is permanent. And it's just like that you and your sibling is having any ideological conflict. But does it mean that you're going to end your relationship with them? Of course not. It is not at all. And if you're going to end, that means you're a foolish person. Simple. You're not going to end that. And it was the same thing. They leave that dream. But due to the economic policy differences, they are on the different side of the same nation. And one wall is there. And that wall ended all the communication between the Germans. So this was the first step taken by West Germany to develop the foreign relationship with the Eastern Germany, and it was attack. It is the attack on the Iron Curtain. Clear? It is attack on the division of Europe. Yes, is that clear? Yes, is that clear to you? Yes, everyone. Is that clear to you? Yes, do you have any question? Huh. Yes, is that clear to you? Any question? Any query? Yes, it's clear. Okay. Next is salt. Salt. Yes, the same. You know that salt. What is salt? NaCl. Yes. We use the salt in our day-to-day life. Clear, right? Yes, everyone. Whether it is the same salt. Yes, whether it is the same salt or it is something different. Yes, Ashwini said it's different. She is not agree with me. She said that no, no, it is not a common salt. Yes, this is the abbreviation of the term I'm going to explain here. Strategic Arms Limitation Treaty. Strategic Arms Limitation Treaty. Yes, and this is the symbolic term. Yes, yes, yes. This picture is basically symbolic of salt. Can you see this picture clearly? Yes, everyone. Can you see the picture? If you see this picture very clearly, you will get to know what is salt. Means on one side, they are patching up, but on other hand, they are having arms, ammunitions, missiles. So what is the Strategic Arm Limitation Treaty? This treaty is signed between USA and USSR. This treaty is signed between USA and USSR. What is the importance of this treaty? This treaty said that USA and USSR should limit should limit the production and stock of weapon. Means because of and why it was there, as I mentioned, Cold War is having tense situation. There is having fear, anxiety, and because of that fear, that leads to armament race. When US developed nuclear bomb, USSR developed it. When USSR developed something, they also developed. So it was the race was going on, and they produced weapons in large quantity, but they were not using it. Don't you think so? Means it's just like you're purchasing books day by day. Whenever you're going to visit any shop, any competitive exam shop, and you're getting, okay, this is a new photostat of this subject, this is the new magazine, this is the Yojana, this is the Kurukshetra, and you are all collecting that thing and keeping with you. And your roommate saw this thing. Your roommate is like, what? This lady or this guy purchased Kurukshetra as well. So I have to purchase that. So this competition is going on. Collection of books is going on. What's the use of that when you are not going to read that? Yes, am I right or wrong? What's the use of that when you are not using it? You are not reading it. It's a waste. The same example, replace you and your friends with USA and USSR. Replace your books with arms and ammunition. They are developing in large scale, but they were not using it. And every time they focuses on that thing. Don't you think so? It is very costly expenditure. So yes, it is a costly expenditure, and because of that reason, they convince each other. Now we have to limit. We should not exceed. We should not excess. And if the agreement is between two enemies, then of course it is going to help them, both of them. Clear? So that is strategic arm limitation treaty. And what is the significance of it? It reduce arm race. Yes, it reduce. Sorry. Yes, it reduce the arm race. Is that clear? Yes, everyone. Is that clear to you? Or do you have any doubt? Yes, boys and girls. Clear? Yes, Manisha, you ask something. Why? Why? I don't get you. I'm not getting you. Yes, what about rest? Is that clear? Salt is clear to all of you? Yes, Dilip, clear to you. Okay. Anyone? Any question? Any query? No. Good. If you have, please ask. And yes, one more request, as there are few names which are new today. So I always ask the question and I expect the answer from you the same way I always want you to ask me the question, and it's my duty to answer your question. Clear? So it is a two-way communication. Interactive session will help both educator as well as students. Okay. Now the another thing that is Helsinki Agreement. Helsinki Agreement. So what is that Helsinki Agreement basically? This agreement was signed in between USA, Canada, USSR and the European countries. USA, USSR, Canada and European countries. And what's exactly the crux of this? The crux of this that these all countries means USA, USSR, Canada and European countries are going to accept the new border drew after Second World War. USSR, Canada, USA and European countries is going to accept the new boundary or borders drew after Second World War. So there will not be any border dispute between the countries. Am I right? There will not be any border dispute between the countries. So don't you think so? When there is no border problem, when everybody agrees, over the border, don't you think so? There will not be any conflict. And if there will not be any conflict, that means there will be no tension. Okay? Yes, what is the significance of it? Significance of Helsinki Agreement, that is all the countries agree the borders withdrew after Second World War. So when everybody agrees, no tension at all. So these all are the expressions of detente or thaw. Clear? All are the expressions of detente or thaw. Yes, everyone, is that clear to you? Yes, clear. Very good. No doubt, no tension, no question. I initially asked you what is the meaning of detente and thaw, and at that time I mentioned you that is what it means. What is the literally meaning of it? Permanent relaxation in tension. But as you know what, there is nothing permanent in this world. And when we are talking about international relation, in international relation, nothing is permanent. No one is permanent friend. No one is permanent enemy. Clear? No one is permanent friend. No one is permanent enemy. And whenever you are going to find out the permanent solution, it is not going to work. Why? There should be some setback. And this diagram, as I mentioned earlier, this diagram shows the limitations of it. Means when you're going to sign the pact with the other, here they sign a pact with other, your both hands should be close to each other. That means there should not be anything to hide. So when the word detente is there, nothing permanent I mentioned, means they relax some tension, but there were some limitations of detente as well. Some limitations of detente as well. And these limitations are like this. First, US Senate refused to sign SALT II. Means as SALT I was successful, it reduced the arm race. So now US President and USSR President signed SALT II. And you know what? In USA, there is a clear-cut demarcation between legislative, judiciary, and executive. Means if President signed anything, any agreement, then that agreement has to pass in the Senate. And President doesn't have any stake in that. It's totally dependent on them whether Parliament is going to accept or reject. And this SALT II rejected by the Senate. So of course it is not going to implement. Don't you think it is a setback? It is a setback between the relationship between USA and USSR. So this is the first limitation. The second limitation, that is Russia invaded Afghanistan. Russia invaded it. It was a case in 1978. Russia invaded Afghanistan. So some of you are thinking that why they invaded and all, because you don't know the background of it. I'm going to explain the background of it. Every story is having some background. So let me explain that background. Afghanistan. Where is Afghanistan? Yes, very basic question. Where is? If I ask you the geographical location of Afghanistan, where is Afghanistan? Because I'm not asking this question for time pass. Please remember, those who are new here and they suddenly join the class, suddenly join the session, and you might think that why this person is doing time pass, why this person is asking such a simple question. Please remember, I'm not here to waste your time, not mine. Yes. whatever I am going to say, it is always having significance. Clear? So I am not wasting my time as well as your time. Afghanistan, you mentioned the location of Afghanistan is basically in Asia. Some said northwest, some said Central Asia. Northwest, yes. Dilip said northwest of India. Of course, it is there. Some said geographical location is Central Asia. Whether Afghanistan is a member of SARC? Yes. Very simple question. Whether Afghanistan is a member of SARC? Ashwini and Akshay said Central Asia. Okay. My question to you. Whether Afghanistan is a member of SARC? Oh, is that so difficult to answer? Yes, my future bureaucrats, future of my country. Akshay said yes, it is a member of SARC. Akshay, don't you think so? You're contradicting your answer. You're contradicting with your answer. Yes, Ashwini, you're also contradicting with your answer. You said Afghanistan is in Central Asia. Yes. And at the same time, you're saying it is a member of SARC. SARC is a South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. So how it is possible a country is in Central Asia to be a member of organization which is a part of, which is made for South Asia? Afghanistan joined in 2007 because when SARC was formed at that time Afghanistan was in different mode. They were on different mode that time. Yes, am I right or wrong? You said Central Asia. So how it is possible that if it is going to be member of that organization which is exclusively made for regional development of South Asia? Yes, now you get it. Exactly. When we mention Indian subcontinent, we used to include Afghanistan as well. Because of the recent Pakistan concept is there, you forget that Afghanistan once upon a time our neighbor. Along with that, when we consider our real political map, Afghanistan also shares border with India. And yes, fortunately I took this topic, and today let me tell you that in the evening we have, in the night I think 9:30, we have a international relation between India and Afghanistan. Then there also I'm going to explain each and everything related to India Afghanistan. Yes, so Afghanistan location is South Asia. And why it is important? Because at that time USSR, as you know, USSR is so long, it consists of Central Asia as well. So Afghanistan share the border with the Central Asian countries. Yes, Afghanistan share the border with Central Asian countries. That means they share the border with USSR. And of course, it was a time when people are influenced by the communist ideology. Yes, they thought that communism is the only solution to promote equality in the world. So it was that time. What happened? There was a communist government in Afghanistan. There was a communist government in Afghanistan. But as you know, one more thing as well, that in the Afghanistan, there are fundamentalist fundamentalist people are also there. As you know, as when you read the medieval India, you will get to know there are some tribes, some Afghani tribes are there, and still they followed the medieval practices. So communism is basically modern idea for them. Of course, they are going to oppose it. So this type of conflict was there in Afghanistan. Communist is a new modern ideology was there. The government was communist. So communist was there, that means USSR supported them. It was a period of Cold War. And USA doesn't want that. USA was unhappy with that. And you know, USA and Pakistan already had a ties. During the Cold War, USA uses Pakistan as a tool against Russia. Yes, to establish the control over this area, they uses Pakistan as a tool. So what USA did at that time when this communist government was there, USA USA supported fundamentalist. USA supported fundamentalists in the all aspects. Initially they provided money, later on they provided money, arms, ammunition and provoked them to revolt against this communist government. Provoked them to revolt against the communist government. And why it is so? It is just because they want to topple the communist government in Afghanistan. As I mentioned, USA supported fundamentalists to topple communist government. And of course, fundamentalists are mad enough. Fundamentalists, irrespective of religion, fundamentalists are mad. They doesn't think rationally. Yes, that is clear cut thing. And when we are talking about fundamentalism, that means they are orthodox. Communists are atheist. Communists are atheist. So they provoke fundamentalists. They say that your religion is in danger. See, the atheists are there. They are going to ruin your heritage. They are ruining your culture. So this fundamentalists get energized, and USA provided money, arms, ammunition against them. So this fundamentalists tried to topple communist government in that. And you know, it is a period of Cold War. Communists are comrades. They want to support each other, and that's why USSR entered into that. So when we were use the word Russia invaded Afghanistan, it basically Russia entered into Afghanistan to protect the communist fall of communist government in Afghanistan. So some of you first time heard this thing, because right now whenever we know the Afghanistan, we know only thing in the Afghanistan, that is Taliban. Means basically you know one thing about Afghanistan, that Afghanistan is ruled by fundamentalists, but it was not the case in the past. See, so always remember, this is an what we can say, we have to learn from the past many more things. Afghanistan was much more progressive during 1978. But what happened when they fall into the trap of fundamentalists? Now you can see their condition. So please be rational and be citizen. Do not get mad with anybody else. Okay. So now to protect the communist government in Afghanistan, Russia entered into that. And this gave the opportunity for USA to propagate this thing. They made the propaganda, see, now USSR wants your territory, and this fundamentalist wage a war against that. So this was the limitations of it. Don't you think this is a limitation of it? Because when you're talking about detente, means you want to relax the tension, and you are adding the tension by entering into another country's territory. So don't you think so you are violating the international norms? Yes, exactly. And this creates the international tension. So this is the second limitation of policy of detente or thaw. Next thing, As in the last Cold War lecture, I mentioned about the Eisenhower, and I said that you saw one more person like Eisenhower in recent times in USA. He was US president. So don't you think so? He's alone? No, no. There are many. But this person is a what we can say Mount Everest of all. Next, Reagan is another person. Reagan was president of USA at that time, and he designed a policy. He was also having the same character as of the person which served as a US president. He started a new program, and that new program is Strategic Defensive Initiative. Very popularly, it is known as Star War. Very popularly known as Star War. Means his idea was to wage a war from space. Means here is USA, here is USSR. So they said that now we all uses land, oceanic route, aerial route. Now I'm not happy. I want to attack USSR from space. From here I'm going to attack USSR. And because of this madness, one positive thing happened, and this positive thing is known as International Space Station. So this was a race. The madness was there. When USA decided to have such a space war or star war, they sent their mission in the space to establish a base there. The same way USSR did the same thing. So the madness was there, but we are fortunate enough of Cold War. Because of the Cold War, this rapid development took place at that time, and this helped us a lot to communicate with each other right now. I don't know from where you are communicating with me. You don't know from where I am communicating with you, but still we are at the same phase. And how it is so? Such type of development occurred. And the Star War was basically policy of attacking USSR from the space. Means basically it is a space war concept. Don't you think so? It is also a limitation to data. Yes, everyone. Yes, everyone. What do you think? Yes, is that clear to all of you? Yes, is that clear to all of you? Whatever we discuss, is that clear to you? Or do you have any question? Yes, 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 Dilip, you can. You can. You can watch this lecture afterward as well. It is available on our platform. Yes, is that clear to you? Any question, any query? Yes, everyone? No question. See how sharp you are. That's why I say, that's I always say, you're so sharp. Definitely you're going to crack this examination. I'm fortunate to have all of you. No question. Such students are very difficult to find. Now, now another phase of it, as the data and thaw we mentioned some positive outcome of that, some limitations of that. In 1985 there was election, and in that election Mikhail Gorbachev elected as a head of USSR. head of USSR, Mikhail Gorbachev, in 1985. When Mikhail Gorbachev became the president of USSR, he was having three aspects in front of it. Means basically there were three challenges in front of him. Three challenges in front of him. First, Stalin type of communism. Second, deteriorating economy. And the third, that is a resistance from people. Or in other words, we can mention the discontent among the people. Yes. So these were the three things which he received when he became president of USSR. You know, USSR was a huge, a large, a group of states. It's a union, and these are the three important challenges in front of him. Stalin type of communism. What it means? Stalin was a dictator, and now the Communist Party is full of dictators. The meaning or the intention of communism is to provide relief to the common masses. Yes, to provide relief, to provide equality, equal distribution of resources. But right now, most of the things lost relevance. Now they are dictating the terms, and people doesn't have any choice. As you know that only they had a one party system. So always remember, whenever anybody is going to promote the one party system, please take a note of USSR, or you can take a note of China as well. How it is so? Because whenever there is a one party government is there, one party system is there, it is very difficult for the people to express their opinions. Yes. Why? Because if you are going to express your opinion against them, they are going to end you. Either they are going to dump you in the jail, or they are going to file a complaint against you, or they are going to kill you. So these are the possibilities. So this was a challenge, bigger challenge, Stalin type of communism. Dictatorship was there. Second, deteriorating economy. That is the most important aspect in front of Mikhail Gorbachev. Why it is so? Because USSR was a leader of, means Russia was a leader of USSR, and most of the countries are facing economic challenges. Yes. So now the most important task to revive the economy, to introduce certain changes in the economy, and how we have to use, how we have to implement. That is the most important challenge in front of him. Clear? And the Cold War is a continuous process. It is not going to end. So that's why if you want to compete with USA, you have to invest the money. And that's the problem in front of him. And the third challenge was basically discontent among the masses. They are not happy with the communists. There is a we can say the process of revolt begin in many countries. Very best example is Poland. Poland was not happy. There was a revolutionary movement was going on in Poland as well. The movement was there. So these are the three challenges in front of Mikhail Gorbachev when he became the president of USSR. As Mikhail Gorbachev is having noble intention, he realizes these are the three problems, and if he really want USSR to stay together, if he really want to strengthen the USSR, then he has to introduce certain changes. So his attitude was basically pro change. He doesn't want USSR to be loose group. He wants USSR to be strong. And how USSR is going to be strong? by introducing some changes in the structure, and that's why he further boosted the policy of detente. When he became president of USSR, he started introducing reforms, and these reforms are basically give boost to the policy of detente or thaw. Is that clear to you? Yes, everyone? Is that clear to you? Okay. Now, he introduces three policies, and these three policies are most important. Sometimes you have to mug up the things. Pronunciation is quite difficult because it is in Russian. Still, I'm going to pronounce, maybe it is having mispronouncement and all, but still, I beg your pardon. Askarin, Askorin, Perestroika, Askorin, Perestroika, and Glasnost. Askarin, Perestroika, and Glasnost. What is Askarin? Basically, it means, it is literally meaning improve in the growth rate. Askarin is basically improve in the growth rate. And what it means, basically, we are talking about economic growth rate. And we mentioned initially that Russia is facing financial crisis. The same way US position is not quite different. US was also having the same thing. So now both the countries are facing financial crisis, and USSR was facing more because it is a group of those countries which are financially weaker and totally dependent on Russia. So he knew there is a need of urgent changes. So he focused on economic growth to improve the growth rate. So how to improve the growth rate? How is it possible? Just by telling from tomorrow onward we are going to improve. Is that the case? Yes, by telling that yes we are going to improve. But how? How can you going to improve? There should be some strategy, and yes, he had the strategy. That's why his name is there in world history. He advocated the structural change. We already discussed what is structural change earlier. Those who don't know, they can watch the lecture of French Revolution. But for you, in brief, I'm going to mention structural change means basically complete change in economic structure. Complete change in economic structure. That is structural change, and that is perestroika. Means he knew that if USSR really interested to improve the economic growth, then they required to change the structure of economy. Means they have to focus on other aspect of it. Means for example, they should not be dependent on agriculture sector alone. There are other sectors. For example, they have to focus on industries, they have to focus on service sector as well. So such type of changes we have to introduce. That is a structural change. And the third, glasnost, means he firmly believed that there is a requirement of some kind of open environment, some kind of freedom. Here it means some kind of freedom is required. In one party system government, such freedom was not there, and because of that there was a discontent. And he knew that if he is not going to introduce this thing right now, then it will be really dangerous thing. USSR will not be there in future. So to strengthen USSR, he introduces this thing as current perestroika and glasnost. Yes, yes, is that clear to you? Everyone, is that clear to you? Or still do you have any question, any query? Yes, Supriya, good evening. Yes, what about rest? Do you have any question, any query related to perestroika, glasnost, aspirin, or is that clear to you? Clear? No doubt? Okay. So, there must be some reaction. There must be some reaction from the stakeholders of USSR. It is not the case that if you are doing some good deed that everybody is going to support. Of course not. If you are going to do something better for the society, there are many people who are creating the obstacles. And in the path of Gorbachev, in the path of development, there are also obstacles. So Gorbachev has to face the reaction, like reaction from fundamentalist. Please remember, fundamentalists are not just related with religion only. They are with the ideology only. Clear? Fundamentalists are those people who doesn't want change. They are stick to whatever is there. They are not going to modify according to the times. So these are the fundamentalists. Means they to stick to ideology, orthodox ideology of communism. Yes, they stick to that orthodox ideology of communism. That is the fundamentalist because they doesn't want change. They are basically no changers. They are basically no changers. Yes. So that is the first challenge from their side. The second challenge he posed from people. The second reaction is from people. What's this reaction? This reaction was altogether different. How? The people were oppressed for a long time. When he introduced openness, this openness is having one more form, and that is election and multi-party system. Yes, this openness includes the election as well as multi-party system, and people voted out this reaction. People voted out Communist Party, and now the desire of people is to be free from USSR. So people voted out communist. They suffered humiliating defeat, and now people was having desire to be free from USSR. Clear? So reaction is basically from the fundamentalists. There were no changes, and these no changes doesn't want Gorbachev to introduce these changes. They enjoy that dictatorship. They were enjoying. They were like rulers of that country. So they doesn't like that. The same way, people liked it more and they want it more. And both things are dangerous. Yes, both things are very dangerous. Next, in 1988, as Gorbachev, what he mentioned, aspirin, perestroika, and glasnost. He boosted the policy of Dayton, and the very best example is USSR withdrew from Afghanistan. It is really welcoming steps taken by Mikhail Gorbachev. that Russia USSR ended their Afghanistan campaign. And you know what happened after this? Russia retreated, and interest of USA in Afghanistan also ended. But what about fundamentalists? USA was providing financial help, arms, ammunition to them. Now they are used to of it. USA stopped providing help to them. Now these fundamentalists felt cheated. They said that US betrayed us, and that resulted into rise of terrorism. And yes, somebody said earlier, Al Qaeda is one of the offshoot of this. Is that clear? So basically, when USSR withdrew from Afghanistan, interest of USA is also ended, but it ruined Afghanistan because it destabilized the Afghanistan. Earlier, Afghanistan was a progressive state. Now it is a fundamental state. They lost everything, and common people paid the prices of it. Some of you might aware of this, or some of you may not, that there are refugees from Afghanistan as well. India gave refuge to the Afghanistani people as well. Do you know this fact? Yes. So this is there to relax the tension between USA and USSR. Our very next example is fall of Berlin Wall. A very good example, fall of Berlin Wall. This wall was created by communists. This wall was supported by capitalists so that there should not be any interaction between East Germany, West Germany, East Europe, West Europe. Clear? Farooq Azam, the whole world played into the hands of. Yes, exactly. Because bipolar world, but whole world was not there. We are exception of that. You know, non-alignment movement. We didn't fall into the trap of madness. Our then Prime Minister was a visionary person. He decided to stay away from it, and we saw the horrifying nature of Cold War as well. And we are so fortunate enough that we didn't enter into that trap. And because of that reason only, when there was a fall of USSR and other states, it is a rise of India in economic context. Because we had a good relationship with all. And for that, those who are having any confusion how it was so, you can watch my lectures of international relation. There is a series of international relation lectures, and we discuss a NAM topic in detail there as well. Okay, so fall of Berlin Wall is the best example or best gesture from Mikhail Gorbachev. Fall of Berlin Wall is the best gesture from Mikhail Gorbachev. He took the initiative to end that. So here the West Germany was there, and here the East Germany was there. And because of his initiative only, end of this division forever. It was a historical move. Those who were living in the East, they remained there for a long time. Those who were living in West, they remained there. And now with the fall of Berlin, with the fall of this war, mhm, Germany again united. Germany again united in 1989. Clear? A long-term dream comes into reality, and all credit goes to German people, along with that Mikhail Gorbachev, because Germans are really chauvinist, though they divided by the ideology, but they united by that spirit. And you know that Germany, it was so many setback for the Germany, but still Germany is a world leader. Still Germany is considered as the engine of growth of Europe. Is that clear? This point is clear. Follow, and it is very historical moment. If you really want to watch, then YouTube videos are available. YouTube means on YouTube you will get the videos how people are enthusiastically participated as the state machinery start demolishing that wall. People also enthusiastically participated and they also helped them to destroy that wall. Yes. Next, in 1991, when Mikhail Gorbachev realized that these Soviet countries are no longer interested to remain as a partner in USSR. So he convinced the states, those who are the states, he convinced them. What he said, instead of leaving USSR, it is better to be part of it because we are a union, we are a strong union. Just we are going to change our relationship. Earlier we were the leader, means Russia were the leader of all the states. Now Mikhail Gorbachev said instead of that we are going to develop the relationship of equality, and it is more beneficial for you because group is a strength, unity is a strength. If you're going to destroy unity, definitely you all are going to suffer along with us. So he convinced them. And how he convinced? He said that instead of becoming free, it is better that we are going to provide you more autonomy. Means more autonomy in the foreign relations as well, more autonomy in domestic affairs. So the states were agreed with that. And they realizes that yes, there is a need of Russia. There is a need of Russia. So they all agreed over it. So basically, it was an attempt by Mikhail Gorbachev to strengthen USSR, and for that he recommended the new treaty. And this treaty was basically talking about more autonomy to the member states of USSR. But this is idealistic situation. And one more thing, the last date to sign the treaty was 21st August 1991. The last date, it was decided the last date, and on that date, treaty is going to be signed, and what was earlier treaty was there, it is going to lapse. Because when USSR formed, it was not a unification, it was not what we can say federation, it is a confederation. They signed a treaty with each other, they signed the treaty with the Russia, So with this treaty, old treaty is going to lapse. Old treaty is going to end. Yes, a new treaty is going to be implemented after 21st August 1991. But as you know that there nothing is perfect in this world, you have to be ready for the challenges. But before signing of the treaty on 18th August 1991, there was a coup against Gorbachev. You know, coup, military coup is there. This coup means basically Mikhail Gorbachev was arrested and sent to the jail, and whole administration of Mikhail Gorbachev is taken away from him, and now a new person who is a, or we can say, a institution, radical or fundamentalist communist, taken over the power. This coup basically led to Gorbachev into jail. Along with that, fundamentalists grabbed the power, and now they want to implement the old type of communism over the member states. Yes, exactly, for toppling of the government. And this fundamentalists, when coup was there, fundamentalists captured power. Fundamentalists captured power. And this fundamentalists basically communist fundamentalists, and they want to implement the old Stalin type of communism. Do you really think so that people are going to accept it? Yes, what do you think? What do you think? Do you really think so people are going to accept it? Of course not, because they are far ahead of it. And what happened? What happened when the treaty failed to sign? The old treaty lapsed. Old treaty lapsed. And as the old treaty lapsed, now states are free from union. States are free from union. And once the states are free from union, they want one event. They want just one action so that everybody gets activated. And this chance provided by the Poland. Poland declared their independence. Poland declared that Poland is a new nation state, and when Poland did that, after that the rest of the states followed the same. Day by day, one more state is declaring their independence. And when the fundamentalists realizes this situation is out of their control, then they released Mikhail Gorbachev. What's the use of that? When fundamentalists lost the golden opportunity, what's the use of releasing Mikhail Gorbachev? Now, you members of USSR is not willing to join any agreement with Russia, and finally the resultant of that, on 31st December 1991, when world is celebrating the new year, the new year eve. At that time, Mikhail Gorbachev gave resignation as the president of USSR, and with his resignation, there is officially end of USSR. And when there is no USSR, there is no Cold War, and that leads to end of Cold War. And when this thing happened at that time, and this is a real story, when this happened at that time, US president was sleeping because time lag is there, you know. Yes, time is what we can say USSR. and USA time difference is there. So at that time there was a night in USA and President was sleeping. When this news stuck to White House, and before media also, this news stuck to the White House. At that time, he was not believing that the George W. Bush, senior George Bush, was the president of USA at that time. He was not believe. He was not believing that whether USSR, how it is possible and all. It is said that he watched TV for a long time, just to confirm whether it was there or not, it was there or not and all. But very next day, when he had a press conference and he said that it is a victory of capitalist world, now it is the only way that capitalism is going to provide leadership and all, and US's commitment to that and all. So such kind of speech he gave at that time. So one uh, person, namely Francis Fukuyama, he presented a paper, and it talked about the end of history and last man. It is said that in that thesis, he suggested that end of history means end of communism, and only thing left that is capitalist. And capitalism is the only option is available for the world. This is based on truth principle. Yes, so that's the end of Cold War, but it doesn't mean it is the end of lecture. Yes, everyone, do not get so happy. End of lecture. No. Is that clear? Any confusion? Any doubt? Yes, Farooq, exactly. End of history. Yes, is there any confusion? Any doubt? Any question? Yes, Ashwini, end of ideology. No doubt, no question. Sorry. Yes, any question? Any doubt? Yes, of course, we have IR lecture in the night. At 9:30, we have a lecture, and in that lecture, we are going to discuss Indo-Afghanistan and the remaining portion of Myanmar. Clear? Now, there is no question at all. So, I'm having question as I gave you opportunity, but you didn't use it. So, I'm going to use my opportunity. My question is to you. As Achintya and Farooq is having question, so we are going to deal those questions. Okay, you took me serious. You are asking the question. Really? It is just for saying. Okay, I'm going to answer all your question. What you asked. First, I'm going to take the question of Achintya. What he said. How in examination, how we will compare the old Cold War and new Cold War. It's very simple. Just write down the points related to the old Cold War, and after finishing the points of old Cold War, you will get to know that this thing is not present in new. First example, ideological conflict. Here, no ideological conflict. Here, USA and USSR provided leadership. That ideological conflict. Here, it is a conflict of supremacy between USA and USSR. Clear? Example. Here, you are going to mention that expressions of Cold War. That is, USA supported South Korea, USSR supported North Korea. Here, ping pong diplomacy is the answer. So, same manner, you're going to explain the new and old Cold War. Okay, next, Farooq asked me, did the end of Cold War also meant the end of armament race? No, it didn't mean the end of armament race, but Of course, it reduced to some extent. That madness was not there. That madness is not present right now. It is somehow reduced, but armament race is there. But if we compare with the First World War, Second World War, or Cold War, such type of armament race is not present right now, because in the multipolar world, each and every country is having vested interest in other. So, if any economy means for example, let's take example of India. If Indian economy is going to collapse, then it is not just the end of India. It is the end of other countries as well, those who are depending on India. Clear? So these economies are linked with each other. So that's why we do not want to continue such a madness. In multipolar world, we can pressurize any country if it is following that, and we can pressurize United Nations as well. Is that clear to you? Yes. Next, Ashwini asks, we will learn the impact or role of in will we learn the impact or role of India in Cold War? You can learn it by your own. I don't think so it's difficult, but I want to explain you with help of example, and that example is related with India's policy of NAM. First, you're going to mention that since beginning, yes, India hosted Asian conference. This is also expression that India is having a different path. The second example, Afro-Asian conference. Third example is basically NAM. And the fourth example, how India played important role. You can mention the Korean War. Yes. Along with that, in Suez Canal crisis, India criticizes Britain and France. Yes. Along with that, when Russia invaded Afghanistan, that time India criticizes Russia. Yes, everyone. Now you get it. Yes, Ashwini, your problem is solved. And if we really want to know the impact of it, then the most important impact is basically the friendship with USSR. That is the first impact. Second impact, it's a negative, of course. That is, we kept safe distance from USSR. The third positive impact is basically we kept aloof from, kept safe distance from Cold War. Next important thing, a positive impact of India's independent foreign policy, that after disintegration of USSR, India was a free nation. They can collaborate with any other country, and the best example are relationship developed with USA and other European countries. Yes, is that clear, everyone? Okay, now my chance. I'm going to ask question. My question is, Cold War in early phase was a helplessness of USSR, and in latter phase it was helplessness of USA. Cold War in early phase was helplessness of USSR, and in latter phase it was helplessness of USA. Comment. Yes, everyone. Farooq said, sir, with the end of Cold War, did the NAM also lose its significance, or it holds good even today? NAM is still relevant, and Farooq, I insist you to watch the lecture of NAM. It is available on the YouTube channel only, so that whatever the doubts you are having, all the doubts are going to clarify. But for your answer, in short, I'm going to tell you noun is relevance, but there is a need of some modification. And rest you can watch that video. Next, Achintya. Achintya, what's it on app? Forget, will you begin with the ancient history? Don't worry, whatever I'm going to take, I will let you know. And I'm saying on this platform, I'm going to teach you all the aspects of history, including history optional. So those who are having history optional, I'm there. Now we're going to focus on the question which I asked you. Question is very simple. Cold War in early phase was helplessness of USSR, and in latter phase helplessness of USA. Comment. What do you think? Yes, everyone. What do you think? Yes, I'm waiting for your answer. Everyone, no response. Oh, oh. It is a really interesting question, and this question might be asked in the examination. Yes, everyone. First thing, whether you are agree with the statement or not. That is the first thing. Whenever you want to answer the question, and if it is a comment question, because this is the statement given by somebody. Comment type of question means I made some comment. If I am a historian and I made some comment, that is a comment type of question. You have to read and you have to understand what they want to say. So first of all, when you read this word or when you read this thing, do you agree with it or not? Yes, Farooq said, with the USA is having developed nuclear weapon, it was certainly helplessness of USSR in the beginning, but in lately USA suffering jolts from Vietnam War, oil crisis in 70, so it was. So basically, Farooq agrees with this statement. What about you? Do you agree with this statement? Yes, everyone. Do you agree with the statement? Hmm. Just try to answer. I'm here. Don't worry. I'm here to answer your all the question. I'm going to tell you how you're going to deal with this question. Yes, I'm going to provide you the structure. Clear? So I just want you to answer. Try to answer. What do you think? Whether you agree with this statement? If you agree, yes, you agree with this. So how it is the helplessness of USA in first phase? Sorry, helplessness of USSR earlier and in latter USA. Achinta said you agree with that. Okay. Yes, everyone. Some of you might hearing some background noise. It is because of freedom of expression. It is given by our constitution and citizens of India using it fearlessly because we are in democracy. So sorry for inconvenience. I can't help. I can't curb their voices. Yes. So where is other guys? Are you there? Ashwini is there, then Sankalpa, Bhanupriya, and how many people are there? Manisha was there, Bhanupriya and all. Where are you guys and girls? Or if you don't know, or if you didn't get it, please let me know. I'm here for that only, no? Yes, I'm here for that. Yes. Shall I explain? At least allow me to explain without wasting the time. I'm not asking you to answer the mains question. Yes, though, at least, yes, whatever the Farooq, whatever he mentioned, it should be like that short. It should not be like essay that 5 6 pages you are going to write. Akshay said partially agree both old and new part of Cold War is disadvantageous as well as helplessness situation for the both. Achintya, when US started developing nuclear weapons, USSR was helpless due to Cuban Missile Crisis. USSR had to take back it in latter phase due to Vietnam War and oil crisis. Okay, and Ashwini directly said, please explain. I'm not going to waste my energy. Okay, so everyone, please allow me to decipher the statement. This is just a comment, and this comment is basically related with the beginning of Cold War. This is related with the beginning of Cold War. First, how you're going to write, and first I want to tell you. First part, the part 1, it is the structure I'm going to tell you. In the part 1, you're going to introduce aftermath of World War II. Yes, first you're going to mention aftermath of World War II. Means what? What here you're going to mention? Who emerged as a victor? USA and USSR emerged as a victor. Economic setback and all. Economic setback. End of means BOP get disturbed and all. So you know that what you have to write. But in short, it should not be the case that you are going to write 5 6 pages over it. You have that much knowledge and definitely you're going to write that. But please control. We have others part. We have to use our energy. So first you have to introduce change in the scenario after war. Next, in the part 2, you're going to compare the position of USA and USSR. Position, which position? Strategic position? Of course not. Here you are going to mention the financial position, the economic position of both the countries. In the first part you mention now emergence of two superpower. One is USA, one other is USSR. USA provided the leadership to the capitalists, USSR provided the leadership to communists. That is your first part. Second part, you are going to compare them economically, as the capitalist country were more economically sound as compared to Russia and other communist countries, because these capitalists looted, plundered their colonies. Now they are wealthy enough. But this is the new ideology. Only Russia is sound, financially sound, as compared to their partners. So, in this part, you are going to explain their financial position. So, in last, you will get to know in this part, second part, that Russia was weak. And in this part, the last is, you will get to know that USSR is financially weak as compared to USA, as compared to the capitalist. Clear? Now, as these two emerge as a superpower, now they don't have options. So this part is you have to write the helplessness of USSR, and the reaction of this or the expression of this helplessness is expansion of communism, so that they want to improve their strength. They so want to what we can say, increase their access, establish their dominance. And the best example of this helplessness is violation of agreements. Yes, in the last lecture we mentioned, and Yalta conference is one of the best example of it. Balkan agreement, it was another expression of it. So they just broke all these things. Why? Because they just want to show they are superpower. And for that they started grabbing the territory. They started to increase their geographical landmass to show strength. That is the helplessness, because they cannot stand in front of USA economically. So geographic wise they want to increase that. Clear? Once USSR started spreading communism, it is a real threat for capitalism, because spread of communism, that means it is going to end the capitalism from that country. And now it is a fear from US side, it is a fear from the capitalist side, that if communism is going to spread in their country, they are going to end the capitalism. So we have to do something. These capitalists were thinking that we have to do something, we have to tackle Russia. And how and who is going to tackle? Leader. Who is leader? USA. So USA has to tackle it. So the part 4 you have to mention, to tackle communism, USA entered into that. It was helplessness. They don't have any choice. Don't you think US don't have any choice when Russia started spreading communism? They don't have choice. They have only choice to enter into that to stop spread of communism. That is the helplessness of USA. Whether this point is clear to all of you, this is the explanation of the comment. Yes, everyone? This is the structure. First part, you have to introduce their exact situation after Second World War. Second part, you have to compare them economically. Third part, you have to mention how it was a helplessness of USSR to continue this Cold War. And fourth, you are going to mention why USA participated in that. Yes, boys and girls, is that clear to you? Clear, Achintya? No problem, no question, no doubt. Very good. Understood, Ashwini said. Yes, thank you for being patient, and you, now all the doubts are clear. Next comment is basically, yes, one of the doubts are clear. Next comment is basically, in fact, Gorbachev wanted to save Union. In fact, Gorbachev wanted to save Union. Where is Gorbachev? Yeah, Gorbachev wanted to save Union, but it ended with the disintegration. Farooq, for that again I'm saying, for that you can watch my previous lecture today only. Today only I conducted the lecture of Cold War on Unacademy's app. and in that I mentioned that thing. But for you, I'm going to explain it again with the short. You said how US did that. The US followed means there was a Truman Doctrine. There was a Truman Doctrine, and this doctrine suggesting the policy of contamination. Sorry, policy of containment. And what is the meaning of it? Containment is to stop the spread. As this word is very common in COVID, contaminant, contaminated zone. Yes, to stop the spread of. So this policy of containment is basically the policy to stop the spread of communism. And through this policy, US provided financial help to those countries who wants to free themselves from communist yoke. And this policy was successful. Later on, this Truman Doctrine found expression in Marshall Plan. Clear? So I explain everything in that. So please, I insist you to watch this video. You have that video on our YouTube channel. Yes, so now this question is there. The question is very simple for you. In fact, Gorbachev wanted to save Union, but it ended with the disintegration. This is a comment made by someone. So first of all, do you agree with this statement? Yes, everyone, do you agree with this statement? Do you agree with the statement? Or still you have some differences? Yes, everyone, do you agree with the statement or not? I'm going to explain the answer. I'm going to give you the answer of it. I'm going to tell you how you are going to write the answer. Because knowing the history and expressing in the form of answer writing is much different. Yes, everyone, do you agree with this statement or not? Do you really think so? Statement is so difficult. It's not possible for you to understand the English. It's very simple statement. It's really simple statement. What is that statement? Gorbachev wanted to save Union but ended with the disintegration. Simple. So do you really think so Gorbachev wanted to save the Union? Akshay wrote an essay, but I really liked it. Gorbachev wanted to save by three policy, Askarin, Perestroika, Glasnost, but the fundamentalists don't want the liberalism of the people and new economic policy, that's why they opposed it and disintegrate. Yeah, simple. My question was very simple. I ask you whether you support the statement or not. Of course, you have to support because his intention was clear. His intention was to his intention was to strengthen USSR, not to disintegrate it. But events made or what happened that leads to disintegration. So how you're going to deal with this question? First part you're going to mention, that is introduction. In that part you're going to mention the challenges in front of newly elected president. First you have to mention Gorbachev in 1985 he became the president of USSR, and this point is important. What were the challenges in front of Gorbachev? We mentioned first challenge is basically Stalin type of communism, second challenge rotten economy, and third challenge revival of economy. Sorry, rotten economy, And the third challenge, that is discontent among the people, to pacify the discontent. So these were the three challenges. So that is the first part. Second part, how he wants the methods, basically how he wants the methods to strengthen USSR. The same three methods you mentioned, that is Oscaring, Perestroika and Glasnost. What exactly it is, you are going to mention it. Third part, the part 3. Third part, you are going to mention that opposition from fundamentalists. Yes, plus in this third part, you are going to mention defeat of Communist Party at several places due to the election. We already mentioned that thing. Clear? So this gives boost to the people. This aroused their aspirations. Now they are ready to free themselves, but still they are there in the union because of the treaty. And the part 4, you are going to mention about the treaty, then you are going to mention about the coup, and finally you are going to mention disintegration. Yes, everyone. Yes, everyone. This is just a 4-part answer. It's very simple, and I already explained this thing. I gave you the structure. Is that clear to you? Yes, is that clear to you? Yes, everyone. Is that clear to you? Or still any confusion, any doubt, any question? Clear? Everyone? Any doubt, any question? Yes, everyone? No doubt? No question? Clear? Very good. So that's all for my side for this lecture. Those who are new here and wants to join my session, then this is my Telegram channel, that is Unacademy underscore Harsh V10. On this channel you're getting further notification of the lectures. So I insist you to join this Telegram channel, and along with that, those who are having any question queries, they can ask me on this platform, or there are other social media platforms are also available, and you know how to find out that. So that's all for today's lecture. Thank you very much for your valuable time. And one more important notification for you, that is today we have Indo-Afghanistan, the bilateral relation lecture. Yes, international relation lecture is there at 9:30. So please be there. Join me on Unacademy's app. Thank you very much.